Morning, Julia.
Morning.
Welcome to the Thought Lab podcast.
Thank you so much.
It's so very, very nice to have you here. To be here.
Yes.
Yeah, we were going to have it at my studio and last minute changes because of your timelines.
Yeah.
I have to be appreciative of the fact that you're basically a female rock star in the country.
Thank you.
Well, I had to basically bow to your time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a small industry maybe. So.
Yeah, in a small industry. So what I like to do is I like to do a little bit of a summary of my guests. But I've got a very interesting summary for you.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what it is. You're a unicorn.
I've heard this before.
I'll tell you why.
I've heard this before.
Right. You're a YouTuber. You had a series called Life of a Gamer.
Yes.
Correct. You're a pro esports gamer. Correct. Sponsored. We'll discuss that later. You're a Twitcher.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Well, people call it Twitcher, Twitchies. I don't know. Those are all slang.
Twitchies doesn't.
Yeah, it's weird.
Twitcher.
I just say a Twitch streamer.
Twitch streamer. Right. You are a travel extraordinaire. Correct.
Yeah.
And you drink beer.
I do drink beer.
Unicorn.
Over wine.
And then you were also captain of the Energy Esports All Women's CSGO team.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yes.
I've been practicing it and I'm lying. I actually wrote it down.
Nice. Well, I mean, I must say I get tongue-tied with it, so very impressive. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can start with the last part of that. I was playing with all males teams previously in my esports career, and I swore against all female teams. I was like, I can't play in an all girls team. It's just too much drama. I don't even know 5 girls on my hands that I get along with. So
Let alone gamers.
Now I need to get along with a team of women who all have their, things, and it's just too much. So I actually met a few girls online, and I was approached by Kristen. Her in-game name is literally Kristen. So
Okay, Kristen's the gamer
so
name.
Kristen.
Okay.
And yeah, I said, okay, well, you're really good. I've played against you. You're definitely on my skill level. And, we've never had a bicker or anything, in game. Some girls just get weird. And another girl that I knew, True Fire, and I knew that she was really good, Danny. So I approached her. I was like, okay, cool. We have 3 people.
That's a gamer.
Great. No, well, we need 5.
Oh, do you need 5? Okay.
So I was like, great, we have 3 people, and now I'm done. That's all the names in my books. Now the rest is up to you guys. Like, you guys choose your friends, because honestly, I can't choose 2 more females out of the female scene. I didn't know 2 more. That's, because we were looking for a competitive female team that could compete against the highest level
if
of
you can't compete,
men
what's
in
the
the
point?
country. So it's it was important for us to create a team that could definitely stand our ground, and then with all the publicity that we were going to get, because we did get, joining one of the top teams in the country, they expected a certain level of us. So we added 2 more people to the team. We added Yana, Salty Monkey, and CJ.
Salty Monkey.
Yeah, that's her nickname. Yeah. So we got a full 5 and we started playing together, and I must say the first few games went amazing. I'm talking like we stomped people.
Nice.
I don't know what, because we didn't practice yet. We were just playing. And we literally ran over the opponents. I think we played like 16-4, 16-3. The scorelines were complete difference, and I don't know if it was because people didn't take us seriously when they started playing against us, and we were taking the game very seriously, and therefore we were out-fragging them, and then when they started trying, we still continued to out-frag them.
And what game were you guys playing?
Counter-Strike, Global Offensive.
CS.
Yeah, probably
100%.
something to mention.
Probably something to mention.
So yes, it's a first-person shooter game, and it's very, the tactics that you need.
It's very strategic.
Very
tactical.
Very tactical. So we did it without any tactics. We just used our aim and 6th sense, I guess.
Okay.
And yeah, we somehow won our first 5 DGL games very convincingly.
Okay.
Extremely convincingly. When we started practicing, however, things started changing a little bit, in the sense that now you need certain people to conform to certain roles.
Correct.
Become more of, for example, me, I was, calling, which means I was calling the strats.
Okay. And by strats, you mean strategy?
Yeah. So in the beginning of the round, I'll be like, okay, guys, we're going to try push a B split, which means there's 3 different ways to get into a certain site. We're going to use a certain manner, and that is how we will win this round. And then you do your start round call, your mid round call, which is when you're now going to start breaching if something changed, you know, something like a key fragger is down, you have to change things up a bit. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on in your more late game calls that say you have the bomb down, then you have an extra minute now to play to keep the bomb from being defused by the counter-terrorists and stuff like that. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on, and during that, I think our team became a little bit confused.
Okay.
Because there was no more freelance play. And yeah, I mean, eventually I had to step down because of sponsorships, and the team is still together, they're still playing together, they have changed up a little bit. Danny is now in lead pro, stuff like that. But what I was trying to get at with the conversation is that when you play in a team, the competitive game is so much different to just streaming it.
Yeah.
There's a massive difference.
And I think what most people don't appreciate and what most people don't understand, and when I say most people, I'm definitely not referring to the gamers out there, because they'll know exactly what you're talking about. I'm the one in the dark here. But what most people don't understand is that just like a professional sport, let's say rugby, there is training involved.
Exactly.
There is sponsorships involved. There is strategies involved. There's gameplays involved. There's your specific type of game that everybody plays. And I mean, when the first time I got seriously introduced to esports was on Red Bull TV. Yeah. Okay. And I sat down and I watched this on Red Bull TV, myself and my brother. I mean, he's far more a gamer than I am.
Oh, great.
I'll tell you about my gaming later. And we sat down and I was mesmerized. I was blown away by what these guys were actually doing, you know, and the level. I mean, they've got mental coaches. Yeah. Like, mental coaches. You know, I know a lot of businessmen out there who don't even have mental coaches.
Exactly, yes.
And it's incredible.
It is. And to me, it's just when I played competitively, I had no time or space in my brain to even consider streaming at the same time. I had to completely compartmentalize it. So I was one day, I'm Bish the streamer, and I would play completely randomly. I'd play random games, unranked, and just, you know, run around and shoot. When I played competitively, however, I could not even focus on anything else other than gaming. So for me, I could not have a webcam on me. I could not have other lighting on me. I couldn't be in a different space. I had to be in my dark room with nothing bothering me, with my hair tied up, looking horrible.
In your pajamas.
That's the only way I could play competitively. So to me, it was a very hard switch. Now, especially after me leaving Energy Esports, I did not join another team after that. And my main reason for that was just purely that I was now exploring a different avenue of gaming, which was Twitch streaming. And which was becoming an esports personality and more focused on my brand and what I'm putting out there, content creation and so forth. So it's a whole different avenue. And then what your main focus is the content that I'm putting out. Is it quality? Is it something that I'm teaching other people? And how do I look?
Of course.
Because
massively sold.
Because as a person, you don't want to be a slob. You don't want to, you know, be unpresentable, whatever. And to me, the big thing is that representing gamers and looking like a slob, I think, is very disrespectful and backward.
I agree.
Because if you're representing a group of people, you should be representing them to your fullest,
to the best of your ability.
Exactly.
I agree. And what you're doing is you're creating your personal professional brand.
Exactly.
And the word in there is professional.
Exactly.
You can't be professional with
exactly.
with the bun on and some pajamas and looking terrible. And it is the way it is. And besides, at the end of the day, let's not even talk about sex. Let's talk in terms of gender. Let's talk about just human nature. I don't want to look at that type of person.
Exactly.
It's as simple as, whether it's a guy, whether it's a girl, it doesn't really matter. I don't want to sit and look at that. You know, and I want something interesting, because what we need to do in this world that we're playing in, because we have similar worlds, although you're far more of a rock star than I am, but we have similar worlds, but we're trying to entice people to listen to us. Yeah. And how do we do that? Value. Yeah. That's it.
And that to me is also very important. But I guess when it comes to esports, it's hard to create intriguing content, because most of the time what people don't want to hear is stuff like this, you know. I repost the podcast that I did with someone which was interesting and something about my avenue, and people get to learn more about me. But I think during my streams, what I do, which is actually quite interesting, is I do the last few minutes of my show. The people who stuck around, whatever, I go while I'm live into the Discord channel with 10, 12 people just talking to me. And we talk about the most random stuff. But it's fun because to them, they get to say they say.
Yes.
And some people actually ask questions. So like, Jules, I really want to start streaming and I don't know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, okay, good. Just, very relaxed. Tell me what your setup is like, and they would talk about their specs and another person would comment. And then through that entire process, another person in the group probably has something valuable to add to him that I probably don't have.
Yeah.
Something like sound engineering. I don't know anything about it. I use my SteelSeries Arctis 5 mic, which works perfect.
Yeah.
I know how far it has to be from my mouth before it starts distorting.
Correct.
And I know the levels I needed to put it on for it to be listenable on my stream.
Yeah.
That's all that I know.
And you got a C920 camera?
And I have a C920 camera.
Just like mine?
That's it. And it's just on my screen. It's propped up there. I know my little, color gradients.
Absolutely.
I know what makes it better, but
it
that's
is infinitely easier from an audio point of view.
Yeah.
To do streaming the way you do it.
Yeah.
My audio is a little bit more technical, a little bit more involved. But even me, I mean, I turned to my brother because let's be very serious, and I don't have an ego. I knew nothing about this.
Yeah.
I know a lot about tech because I'm a tech type person.
Yeah.
And I enjoy tech. But not audio. So I had to succumb to the greatness of my brother and be like, help, you know, how do I do this?
Yeah.
And we've had some challenges and, so we've gone.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, to me, it's the same. I obviously can't take credit for my streaming setup. I mean, the amount of times that I've, had to turn to my boyfriend as, cliche as that is for a girl gamer, like, boyfriend, help me. Like, it's not all like that. The thing is that I believe that if there's someone that can add value in the sense that something that you don't know, then why not listen to their advice? So to me, it's like we've had major ups and downs where it's been from the stream is not even close to working to oh, it's working so perfectly, don't touch it, don't touch it.
Don't touch
because
anything.
Something with tech that's just like the one day it can work, the next day it's completely broken and shot.
For no reason.
I
know, I'm with you.
Because I only switched off my computer, so what is the difference?
What's changed?
What is the difference? And I'd had to cancel streams before about it, and to me it's a little bit more emotional than for him because obviously I'm the streamer and I want, to go live. I'm feeling stressed. To him, he's looking at it with more of a clear mind and going like, hold up, just what else is there that we can do? So just to have someone else,
and because you're emotionally invested,
if you're doing it alone, it is very hard, and if you don't seek out those questions, you'll never actually really get the answers for it. So my setup as I have right now is really great. There's a whole bunch of changes I still want to do to it, mostly the look of it.
Okay. In what way?
So my studio, for example, I have these posters up that I bought and I thought they would be a great idea, I bought them from Abu Dhabi when I went to Gamescom.
Okay.
I was like, oh, this is going to be sick. Look at these posters. Got them for a discount. Like, great stuff. Brought them back, but the wall is physically too far away from where I'm sitting.
Okay, so you can't actually see the pictures.
For the posters to actually be seen and to be valuable.
I'm with you.
So now they just look like these color blobs on the wall behind me and in a very bare, massive wall behind me at that. So I wanted to change it up and make it look a little bit more like a lounge behind me because it creates depth and it also creates interaction when I'm doing those 12-hour streams, because what I usually do is take these pillows, plop it on the floor, and I literally just veg out there with my laptop next to me eating my dinner while I'm still live on stream doing my 12-hour marathon. Okay. And people love it. I don't know why.
Do you know why? It's real.
It is real.
It's real and it's authentic.
I'm tired. I need to sit down. Like,
there we go.
It's on the floor.
Well, and this might not be the most conducive style, and I personally don't like the style that we've got right now. So for the listeners, we're actually sitting on Jules's couch. But at the end of the day, it's real.
Yeah, it is.
This is your home. We're in your home, and this is where
This is where I watch E-League every night.
That's
so
it. There's a lot of nerds who wish they were here right now.
Yeah.
Right?
You could say so.
But it's real. Come on.
Yeah. So I mean, coming down to the whole real part of it, that's exactly what I want to make my stream to be about. I've never. Okay, so let's just, before we start just rambling on about the stream, I guess important to just explain my stream first.
Go for it.
Because there might be a whole bunch of people that don't understand what streaming is and what I'm doing.
Go for it.
So, because I have a competitive background in not only Counter-Strike but in Call of Duty, that's how I started off with. My first competitive league that I played was when I was 15, 16, and I played Call of Duty for Premier League for South Africa. So, I actually played at Rage. So I did the Do Gaming Championships. Came third. Our team came third. It was an interesting time for me because that was the first time I ever sat with a major group of people. And back then, if you're a girl sitting at DGC, you're either a legend, you have like veteran status because you've been there a few times. If you're a newbie like I was, it's extremely daunting.
I can imagine.
Everybody is eyeing you out, but more like, who is she? What is she doing here? What's her KD? Like, it's very odd.
KD?
Kill death ratio.
Okay.
So to me, it's I sat with, I think, about a group of 15 odd people behind me, not even anybody looking to with my male teammates. I was sitting in the middle of my team, and it was so daunting. I was so nervous. My hands were shaking, like I couldn't get past my nerves. So badly so that my first game I bot scored, but like horribly, and I don't know how we won that match. I don't know how we won the first match.
Okay, so you said you did what?
I bot scored, so I was at the bottom of the scoreboard, and I just couldn't get the frags. I was so nervous. My hands were shaking, everything. My team just carried it through. So, but after that whole experience, I was like, okay, cool. I can play competitively. I played Counter-Strike. I did the whole thing. Played that for quite a few years, mostly online leagues. Played a few LAN leagues, but not with a competitive like Energy Finesse team yet. Yes. So I was like, okay, cool. I can play games well. I'm not bad at the games. I feel often people start streaming and they don't actually play video games.
Correct.
They
can't actually do the thing that they're trying to do.
Yeah. You know, unless you're really good at the game, either you're really good or very entertaining. That's the two things you need to be for being a streamer.
Yes,
because if you're not good at the game, what are they watching? And if you're not entertaining and you're bad at the game, then what are they watching?
Absolutely.
So, anyway, what it came down to is I was like, okay, I might not be entertaining yet. I don't know how I am in front of a camera. I at least know I can shoot and I can land shots that would be above average, you know.
Listen, before we finish, right? Obviously, it's my responsibility to do some due diligence.
Yes.
Which is a nice way of putting. I had to stalk you a bit on Twitch.
Yeah.
And I stalked you a bit on YouTube because otherwise it wouldn't be right. And I've watched some of your headshots.
Oh, thank you.
Damn, woman, that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I
and I'm talking about sniper. Shots. I'm really impressive.
Sniper flicks, 360 no scopes.
No, it's brilliant.
Yeah. So I mean, I played. Like I said, I know I could play Counter-Strike to a decent level. And the thing that I thought would be great, this is my first initial thought when I started streaming, I know a lot of people, specifically guys, that is playing at the highest level in South Africa. So if I'm not entertaining enough, maybe bringing another rock star would be very entertaining.
Okay.
So I just played with like top tier guys. I just played with, top tier teams. I always got into the 10-mans, and that was entertaining. That is what people found entertaining because they saw an in the secret society, which was 10-mans. So we call it 10-mans. 10-mans is a self-made system. So it's you and I have 10 friends that I have on my Steam account and I'm messaging. My guys all joined the server at the same time. We're playing a competitive. We're choosing 2 captains. They choose their teams. We play. So
and you're playing against one.
Yeah, so you're playing against one. So it's a practice scrim session for, I would say, the elite top guys in the country, and I somehow convinced them to
let you on board.
Yeah, and
nice.
That helped. So I was streaming that only, Counter-Strike only.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but it actually did reasonably well. Up until I started reaching an audience that was more interested in other games. So with Counter-Strike, it's very simple. My stream layout is a camera box,
sure,
and my game. of what I'm seeing on screen. So it's an overlay with a camera
Correct.
that I add over on OBS.
Yeah, you're using your webcam for your face, and then
Yes.
you're using a software to record the game.
Yes,
Correct.
and that gets outputted on Twitch. So
And yours is live.
yeah, mine's
Correct.
fully live, no delay. So I was interacting. Well, first I didn't interact with my audience because I was so frazzled about everything that was going on. I wanted to know the audio is right. I wanted to know that this is right. I wanted to know that that. I was so focused on the quality of the stream that I did not focus on my audience. And I got a lot of criticism about that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Took the criticism, watched a lot of my VODs, noticed I really hate the sound of my voice.
We all do. We all do. That's just a natural thing that
It
we
was
have to get
bad.
over.
I was like, oh, why is your voice so squeaky at times?
I'm with
Anyway, so over the last 7 months, and I feel like, because I got a subscriber button 7 months ago.
You got a subscriber?
So I'll explain. So with Twitch, there's different ways of making money. So I think I actually make more than YouTubers, for sure.
Wow.
But no,
Maybe I'm in the
definitely.
wrong.
No, definitely
I make
do.
no money.
You can actually do a live talk show on Twitch, by the way.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. We can get to that. But so what happens is you first know one. And then after you start streaming a certain amount of hours, Twitch allows you to become a Twitch affiliate. So you sign a contract with them. It's sort of like an NDA where you're not allowed to stream on other streaming platforms at the same time. All of those other things. There's a whole bunch of terms of service things. And then you start earning revenue by your viewers cheering for you. So it's an option that while they watch, they can buy bits, which is just like a little thingy that you pay money for, and then it goes woo, like like they're pretty much paying to do like a live cheer on stream. And obviously then they can donate to you, but that is your personal thing. So I have a donation link, and if they want to support my stream, they can do so. Which, by the way, I didn't receive any donations for my first, I don't know how long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And since you've received donations?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh, wow.
But it's, it's very interesting, but also getting to that. Revenue, I was an affiliate, and then after a while, for streaming after a certain amount of time and getting a certain amount of viewers and your followership going up, being consistent over a certain amount of months, you get a subscriber button, which means that people can now subscribe to your channel.
Okay, so it's quite a process.
Which is a $5 subscription.
Okay.
Twitch takes half, you get half. So that's not bad at all.
Nice.
50-50.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you get like $2.25 per subscription that goes into your little bank up until you have $100 of revenue that gets put together. That then gets paid out to you.
Okay.
From Twitch to PayPal.
Not bad.
So I have probably received my third revenue pull out.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's bad at all, considering they're 2 months delayed. Because so you reach $100, then it's 2 months that you get paid out. So I made about $300 off of Twitch, straight off of subscriptions, stuff like that. And I think that's really good. I think Twitch is a really great platform for content creators to do stuff in. Road to Partner is very interesting and very controversial on Twitch.
Okay.
I've learned a lot about it. I don't like a big portion of it. I love another portion of it. So the part that I hate is the fact that people who are extremely controversial, they get Partner very quickly because of their mass amounts of views to wait for them to do something stupid.
I got you. Okay.
Kind of like a Logan Paul type situation on Twitch.
I got you. Stupidity unfortunately sells.
Yeah. And, they can't deny the viewership that this person's getting. So they have to give him Partner. Anyway, the other part of it is if you're extremely good and extremely creative, extremely niche, and your stream delivers something that other streams don't, you get Partner, but not only Partner, you get an extremely loyal viewer base.
Oh, wow.
Extremely loyal, to a point that you will probably be at the top of your list for quite a long period of time.
Okay.
So I'm talking Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, those type of characters. And people who watch Twitch, they'll understand. But if you don't, also just go check out Dr. Disrespect and Shroud. They both play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which is a very, very, very popular game right now. And these guys, the one has a major character. He puts on an extreme facade. He has a mullet, a moustache,
Okay.
glasses. He has a Slick Daddy club. Every time someone subscribes to joining the Slick Daddy club, he plays like old school synth music. Like, he's a massive like biker, and then he has this massive green screen thing. So if like a cool song plays and he like switches to his bedroom, and then he like dances around in his bedroom, he has a Lamborghini. Like, it's all green screen. It's all side. Like, it's insane.
Wow.
It's insane. And then you get Shroud, who is just that's that. I'm speechless. He plays a PlayerUnknown's Battleground game and will get 20 to 30 odd kills.
Okay, so you're saying in terms of skill level, he's just at another planet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's impossible.
And isn't it interesting that it goes back exactly to what you were saying? You either have to have massive amounts of skill, or you have to have massive amounts of entertainment.
So that's the two people that is now currently taking over the scene.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's just Twitch.
Quick question for you. You know, a massive part of starting the podcast for me was trying to establish what it was that this podcast was going to be about. And very importantly to me was to be true to myself before I was true to anybody else. Because I can think of nothing worse than putting on a facade, right?
Yes.
And then having to live up to that facade every single podcast, you know, as opposed to going, hey guys, this is me. And, you know, this is the way I talk, and this is my beliefs, and this is who I am. And funnily enough, after my third podcast, I actually had a guy message me to go and say, it's so nice. He's actually one of my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu students. Thank you, Stefan. But he messaged me. You see that, eh? Shout out. I can do what I want. This is the internet.
Yeah.
And he messaged me to say, it's so nice to see that the guy you're on the podcast is the guy you are in class. Same guy. There's nothing else. There's nothing changes. Where do you find yourself in that?
Very interesting, and I love this question. People need to learn, like, please, if you guys are doing interviews, ask questions like these. Don't ask me how does it feel to be a girl gamer. Like,
you see how awesome I am. You see,
please don't ask me that.
I'm going to just scratch off this girl gamer question here quickly.
Well, no, it's an interesting topic, but specifically, how does it feel?
Yeah, how does it feel? I don't know, because I'm a female and I don't know how it feels to be a male.
Yeah, like...
How do you answer that? It's a bit ridiculous.
Anyway,
okay, on to the...
Not the point. Bish.
Yes.
So, let's start with the beginning. Bish, my nickname, a lot of people ask, comes from a Kendrick Lamar song, Money Trees, where he sings, gang signs out the window, ya bish, ya bish.
Okay.
Hoping all of them offend you, ya bish. So it's a rap song.
Okay.
I love it. But because it has a major background to it. So before I played for Energy Females, I was manager of Team Immersion, which is the same clan I played COD 4 for. So Team Immersion started a CS team. They were an MGO. They were like, look, we're looking for an MGO, is a multi-gaming organization.
Okay.
Or a clan, as people like to call them. So this team itself said to me, look, Julia, you clearly know people in the CS scene. Why don't you create us a team and we'll sign you as manager? Because I still just wanted to wear the clan tags. Okay. But you can't wear the clan tags if you're not playing for the clan. That doesn't make sense. So I was going to take over a management role, and then I could still wear the clan tags. Anyway, very childish. So
you said it.
So I got this group of people together. I knew they were playing for a team that was unsponsored. I got them over to our side. They were probably like top 5, top 6 group of guys. And specifically 2 guys I got along with very well. Delinquent and Sting. That's their in-game names.
Of course.
Brad and Lindsay.
There we go. Shout out.
So they used to love rap music, but I'm talking everything from Kweza to like, you know, Casper Novest to like everything like South African, like full on South African, to flip, you know, Kendrick Lamar, Kanye, it could be anything. And at that moment, I was subject because I was not really into the whole rap scene. I really enjoy hip hop. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Do I know the lyrics of a song fully before I met them? No.
Okay.
So they used to have this music bot that comes into the TeamSpeak channel, which is what every team, or they all have this voice channel that you can join as a group as a team, and specifically there's one application called TeamSpeak. You can get a bot to join, and the bot plays music from your computer. So
okay, I get you.
My Windows Media Player is playing music to everybody, so we're all listening to it at the same time. Anyway, they used to play this song. They were all fascinated, to a point that I started learning the lyrics of the song too, and they started calling me a bish when we played games. Because they were just that type of people. They just gave me a nickname.
Like it.
And I did not have a nickname. I was just playing with, Julia, I think.
Got you.
And Sia specifically. And I changed my name to Yabish as a Smurf, which means that no one would know who I am because my name is now changed.
I got you.
So my name changed.
So anonymous.
Anonymous. So I was playing as Yabish, and I was doing really well. I learned a lot because I played with the guys every single day. And I started doing very, very well. I got my global elite rank, which is the highest rank you can get in Counter-Strike.
Okay.
Shortly thereafter, I argued to be in the team, but obviously, they were like, "Nah, you're a newbie still. You can't just join a team." So I played with them a lot under the tag Yabish. Bish then came as a person. People just started knowing as Yabish the Fragger. So I made it from Yabish to just Bish. But people still call me Yabish. It's funny.
Okay.
So anyway, Bish, which is pretty much just a slang word for exactly what you think it is.
Of course. And do you think your personality matches that slang word?
This is the thing. No.
Okay.
It doesn't. I think I can be very feisty in game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like to use the word toxic. But I am very passionate when I play, and I think that carries over. So there's no persona. I'm just who I am, and my name suits it very well.
Perfect. Look, the fact of the matter is,
way of putting it.
You haven't got to where you've got to, and I mean, I really hope, and I sincerely hope that your career just goes from strength to strength. But even where you are right now,
yes,
you haven't got there by being a walkover. You're the one trying to put teams together. You're the one phoning guys and saying, I need to be part of this.
Yeah.
There's an old adage, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly.
Right? And you need a little bit of, and here's a good Yiddish word for you, a little bit of chutzpah.
Chutzpah,
You need to go out there and do your thing. Now, the problem is that could be construed as being bitchy. Here's the difference. If I do it, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Oh no, he's a go-getter.
Yeah.
You do it and you could be construed or misconstrued as a bitch.
Exactly.
You can say that word. We're on the internet.
Great.
Nobody cares.
Bitch.
There we go.
It feels so good.
Doesn't it?
So to me, it's no, I've never been able to. I thought about it before, where I was like, okay, I'm gonna just start wearing flat caps and all my selfies, and just start quoting rap lyrics or something to become this facade bish.
Fake.
But I can't do that. It's so cringy. And I mean, if people see me at LANs or whatever, this is how I dress. I don't dress like a hip-hop star.
No.
I don't.
And then you would have to live that facade.
Exactly. But my thing is, though, that I do genuinely, if someone, because I have a song request list on my Twitch stream. So if you have a song you want me to listen to, or just add your song in the list so it plays your music.
Okay.
And I hear it too. And often they play music like Young Dumb Broke, Congratulations from Post Malone, Rockstar. Oh, just so many. My stream knows me so well already. They know exactly what will make me literally in the middle of a round leave my mouse and just start singing. So they know exactly what would make me do that. And often it's rap music because of now being open to that culture.
Sure.
That especially, that's not the only group of people. All my other gamer friends are all love rap music. So when I play CS, that's all I hear. I mean,
sure.
So to me,
and eventually now you've started enjoying it.
And not even eventually, I've always enjoyed it. It's just I've never gone out of my way now to follow these artists. And specifically Kendrick, Post Malone, those are my two favorites, ultimate favorites. I can ramble on a whole bunch others, but those are my two ultimate favorites. So I, have now become, I wouldn't say become because I've always been, but I think I'm being more open and honest as to what I like on the internet, and that has caused a personality, if
Absolutely.
that makes sense.
You've been real.
Yes.
And everybody, imagine everybody gave you
Yeah.
country and western because
Yeah.
that was your facade.
Exactly.
I would have to go and kill myself. I mean, it's true. That's what would have to happen.
Yeah.
And you can see the differences in the genres, because please understand, I'm old as balls, right?
Yeah.
My rap is Biggie and Nas,
Yeah.
and the old schools,
old school.
Ja Rule. I mean, I knew all the
Exactly.
lyrics, and
Yeah,
I
great.
loved it. The newer guys, my opinion, lacks a little bit of depth.
Yeah.
You have to understand
So-
where hip hop came from. Hip hop came from sending a message.
Yeah. No. I fully believe
You know,
that.
and telling me
fully
how
believe
great your
that.
watch is.
And that's why I enjoy Kendrick so much, because he does not sing about how great his watch is. He does not rap about that. He raps about real
Real life stuff.
things. So anyway, this is completely going, no.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Hit it.
But I mean, to me, I think what Bish just has become is, I wouldn't say a person because it's me.
Yes.
But I would say Bish is another name for Julia, which is that girl who plays games
Correct.
and, often messes up on stream.
Nice. I like it. I very much like it.
I mean, I'm not perfect at all. I often during or after my stream, I'm like, okay, what did I do this time?
Yeah.
And it's not about anything else. It's just I don't put reins on my brain or what I think about or what I say. And I mean, I stream to MSI Global, which is like 5 million viewer base once a week.
There we go.
And
Say something by mistake.
Yeah, and I often swear on it, and I'm not using bitch.
Yeah.
and I'm just like, damn it.
I like you
Sorry.
more now than I did 10 seconds ago. I'm okay with that.
I apologize, and to me it's just like, okay, you need to act professional. And I'm like, why? Literally, no one's gonna come follow me if I'm acting professional.
No,
And
because
the
you're gonna be
amount of
boring.
times- The amount of times I start with stream with, hi guys, my name is Julia Bish Robson. If you guys don't know, I'm not Australian. I'm South African.
Nah,
And
really?
yes, there is internet in South Africa. So if you guys want to know, I'm going to be playing some PUBG today, whatever. And literally, and straight off the bat, I start a conversation because the comments just keep going. You're from Africa? You're from
Africa.
Just
Yeah,
like,
I know.
It's very interesting.
I know.
So,
For anybody who may be listening into America now, some of my friends listen.
Oh,
Maybe
really?
they've
Great.
shared it. Maybe they've shared it to some of their friends. We really do have internet.
Yeah, we have internet.
It's true. And
Actually,
we
I
don't
have
walk
a-
over lions.
I have a 200 meg fiber line in this
Dude,
apartment.
I was going to. Oh, do you
Yeah.
really? I just got the internet jealous. I just got
200
such
meg
bad.
fiber up and down,
Really?
easy. Yeah.
We could have been live streaming this
Yeah,
right
we
now.
could actually. Shall I
Actually.
go get my computer? We set up
We
with
just
you.
set it up over there, and we hit it.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said,
Next time we do that.
next time we
Done.
could 100%.
Okay,
Let's do
I
a
love
talk
it.
show. I would love to. I can actually teach you some games while we're doing
There we
that.
go.
Yeah. So I think just to sort of finish the whole Twitch section, I believe that with my, I say measly compared to more popular
Sure.
streamers, but my viewer count and my following is way more than I ever thought I would be capable of when I started. I was like, never be famous. I don't know, I like using the word famous.
No.
Let's just rather say I would never be watched.
Yes. Viewed.
Point. I mean, I had about 3 to 8 viewers on my streams. I drove, because I stayed in Cape Town, I drove to my friend's mom's apartment, set up every single night for weeks in, weeks out.
Why was that?
Because I didn't have internet at my
Okay.
apartment
She
and I
did.
wanted to stream.
Yeah.
She had fiber, so I had to make something happen. And I literally took my setup, I set up there, and I streamed there, and I had 3 to 8 views, and it was so rewarding. So rewarding. Those 3 to 8 guys made it everything for me. And I did that for, I don't know, months. I'm looking like 4 months of
Yeah.
doing it almost every single day. Trying to be as consistent as I can while I was studying dentistry. That was my past.
Okay. That's what you were going to be.
Well, oral hygienist, yeah.
Okay.
So I was studying dentistry up until June last year, June 2017. And Yeah, I mean, I put in quite a bit of effort into the streaming thing. It also distracted me a little bit, because I found that a lot more fun than studying.
Let's think about this. Studying or playing games and being
Yeah.
awesome online. Yeah, okay.
So
A little bit of a no-brainer.
eventually I got the opportunity to go to Taiwan with MSI for Computex. I took off some time from university. Actually quit university and then went.
To Taipei.
Yeah.
Okay.
To Taipei. I went to Computex, which was 2 weeks, and then after the trip they would have considered contracting me. So I took a massive leap, and I pretty much just forced them to write me a contract. I pretty much wrote the contract for them.
You bish? Sorry, what?
Yeah, bish. And I pretty much wrote the contract for them, and I was just like, guys, look, I've quit my studies. I want to do this full time. This is just something that I can totally see myself doing. I know I can give it my all. Just give me the opportunity. Okay.
They did.
Yeah.
Nice.
And here I am today, sponsored.
So I want to go all the way back now, because
Yes.
this is what I really love. The fact that you're a female is just a bonus, right?
Okay.
But let's talk about the millions of nerds out there, right? who just sit there going, oh my gosh, all I want is to be a gamer. Okay. So let's not talk about gender. Let's talk about the fact that you're a gamer. At what point were you like, I can do this, and this is what I actually want to do?
Up until I received my first paycheck.
Okay.
From becoming, taking the leap, writing the contract, getting my first payment.
And this was with MSI.
With MSI.
That we've just discussed. Okay.
Because I've been working for MSI.
No, but how did you get into gaming to begin with?
But
I'm talking about...
the first time that it made me realize that I'm now a gamer was that.
Okay, I see.
But prior to that, it felt like second nature the whole time. So
Okay.
I started playing games when I was very young.
What age? Can you remember?
8.
Okay.
8. I would say it was my first computer. I got it on Christmas. if
Okay,
I
so
remember
you've
correctly.
always been PC.
Yes, always been PC. I think I had a PlayStation 2 when I was very young, and everybody got to play on it, which meant that I didn't get to play on it. So,
Damn it.
yeah. So, I was always player 2, if I was lucky. Anyway, so, yeah, we played PlayStation, but I'm not a console gamer at all.
Okay.
I got my first computer. My dad was in IT, and they had a whole bunch of spare, Pentium crappy computers, and the work pretty much just gave him these rigs to sort of fix. My dad fixed them, and then they got to stick around the house for a while. And then after a while, because we were so interested in these little computer games that he allowed us to play throughout the days, we got our own. So my brother and I both got these really bad office, straight from
I'm
the
with
office
you.
computers. And we played I'm talking probably Pokemon and, the worst type of stuff on there. It's not esports related whatsoever, but you're 8. I mean, why?
Of course.
So, and also back then, the scene wasn't that huge yet.
When I was 8, I was running around on a farm playing with rocks.
Oh, I was doing
So,
the same.
Okay.
But when it was raining, best believe, I was gaming.
We didn't have a computer when I was 8.
I guess I was lucky.
Exactly. Giving away my age here.
So, yeah, I mean, it bit only really when I was about 13. My
Okay.
brother is 4 years younger than me.
Was there a game that sparked
Yes.
it? Okay.
My brother was 4 years younger than me, and he was playing Call of Duty.
Okay.
And to be 9 years old and playing Call of Duty and, playing in servers on the internet via dial-up, I thought that was insanity. Why would you be doing that? That's just too much going on.
Yeah, I can just
It's
play
too
against
hard.
the computer.
It's too
Yes.
hard. So I played against computers the whole time. I played Counter-Strike Source. I'd load a bot map, and I'd literally try top score in bot maps. And I did that day in, day out, different maps. I don't know why. Anyway, I then eventually got Call of Duty because my brother was playing it so much. We wanted to LAN. So we played versus against each others with bots. And then we would make our team win and whatever. Eventually we started going to OC, which is Organized Chaos, a monthly LAN. You're looking at off season about 400 people.
Okay. And this is all in Cape Town, eh?
All in Cape Town,
Okay.
Belleville Velodrome, every month, last weekend of the month. School holidays, it's bigger. Then you're looking at like 1,500 people.
Oh, wow.
Versus 400, 200, 400 people monthly on off seasons or where it's very busy. So we went to OC, and my little brother and I were the only people that were allowed, because we were under 16. You had to be 16 and over to go to the LAN. I was 14, he was 10, and we had supervision, which means that we had an admin come to us every hour to make sure that we are still
I see
there.
what you're saying.
And we got to bed at a reasonable hour.
Proper supervision. Okay.
I didn't think much of it because I knew I was at a place where I was underage. And then when I think I turned like literally like the next year, I was like, Mom, I got this. She gave me pocket money, and that was it.
And off you went.
Off we went. No supervision, no nothing. I met people there. I met people from teams because we were playing at the LAN. You played deathmatch server, and if you were like top scoring against other people, which means you were at the top of the scoreboard, and a deathmatch is where you're just running around and shooting, and if you die, you respawn. Versus the normal competitive style where you're a 5v5, and if you die, you're dead until your team's done, and the team gets a point. So we were playing team deathmatch and running around, and I was doing really, really well. Because I played so much at home, it's pretty much like a glorified aim challenge every single day at home. So by the time I got to LAN, I knew how to play with my aim.
Sure.
I just didn't know how to play against other people.
Correct, tactically.
I could play against bots, and I could hit the bots' heads. So yeah, I got picked up by a team, played with them online, moved over to the online scene. I eventually walked away from Call of Duty with about 6,000 hours on my name.
Wow. That is wow.
A lot of time.
Have you ever heard of the 10,000 hour theory?
Mm-mm.
So the idea is, if you want to become a proficient at anything,
Yeah, you
right?
have to put
10,000
10,000 hours.
Yeah, 10,000 hours
So
to become an expert.
I'm halfway to being an expert in Counter-Strike.
There we go. Oh, you're at 5,000 hours now.
Yeah, just shy. I'm like 4,000 something. But yeah, just shy of 5,000. So.
I'm going to assume that rule of thumb would work in your sphere as well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you look at professionals right now, the E-League, majors happening right now. If I go and right click, Oscar from Mouse Sports, he's playing in the major right now. He's in the quarterfinals. I have him on my Steam friends list. So if I go right click on his Steam profile right now, I'm sure it will be 10,000 hours.
Yeah, or if not more.
If not more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that game came out now, 3-4 years ago?
Well,
and
yeah.
And well, I mean, not that you would know, maybe, but yeah, I think it's about 3 or 4 years ago. And to consider that he played the previous Counter-Strike to a professional level, and now this Counter-Strike from day one release,
Sure.
all the way through to today, where he's playing at a major league with $1 million prize pool or first prize.
Yeah, I mean, the money nowadays
It's
is
insane.
absolutely insane. But even in South Africa, it's getting better.
Oh yeah, we have about four 1 bar competitions.
Sheesh.
Which
A year?
then
Wow.
and that's excluding the international qualifiers, which is then you not only get prize money, but you also walk away with flying to wherever the major is and going through groups.
And I think the first time I sort of understood this level difference is I played first-person shooters on PlayStation. See, don't judge me, right?
Oh, no,
But I played first-person shooters, and they're really Battlefield type games, and I absolutely loved it. And I heard of this game that was going to come out and was going to be cross-platform, so PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and this game was I'll think of the name now. Nevertheless, so I started looking slowly at online games. All right?
Wasn't it Destiny?
No, not Destiny. And I've just hit a complete blank.
Okay, well, forget about it, because the more you think about it, it goes away.
It goes away, right. So, and I started looking at online games, and then for argument's sake, my brother said to me, because right now we're also playing online games, and he said to me, let's start playing online. And he plays a lot. And I was like, okay. I was that guy that on a Saturday afternoon I'd sit and I'd play, but I'm so busy I don't really have the time. So we started playing online, and I started looking at his level, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So he's got his PS and I've got my PS, and they sit next to each other, and we sit in two sort of separate rooms. but still open,
Yeah.
and we can actually talk to one another.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's how we play, and that's the most joy I get out of
Yeah.
it. The only time I ever play online is when my brother's playing, and then off we go, and I
Yeah.
love sniping people. It's
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite thing. I don't know why, but that's what I want to do. I just want to
So
snipe at
rewarding.
everybody.
Yeah.
All right, and Jared's really good.
I'm the same, by the way.
Oh,
Snipers
really?
are my thing.
Oh, it's my thing, eh? And Jared's really good in comparison to me. Then he goes online because he plays a lot more than me. And he's just like, dude, these guys are in another planet. And I know so many guys who have gone online and joined an online and just get decimated. Absolutely decimated. And I mean, the skill level is so insanely
Yeah.
different.
And you know what's the sad thing about it? That most of those people that are decimating you are 16 years old.
Yes. Probably little Asians.
Yeah. Well, let's not put the race in there, but they're definitely young. Because I know a little kid from Cape Town. His dad bought him a PlayStation when he was on his 12th birthday. When he was 13, he was signed to Energy Esports. And
13?
He was carrying the team in Call of Duty.
Wow.
He got a PlayStation a year ago at Christmas, and the next year he was signed, written contract with a salary,
That's insane.
playing in the top team.
Jeesh.
13 years old. And he would get up with his small little team shirt, like, yeah! And I'd just be like,
But I
this
mean,
kid's
isn't that the
insane.
cuteness factor? So he's got skill, and he's got
And he is so much
entertainment
passion to
reward.
it. Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, look at YouTubers right now. I mean, look at Justin Bieber, you know, when he was found. The internet has opened up this world. I mean, we're sitting here right now and we're having this podcast, right? And it's going to be put out into this world.
Yeah.
And it's only doable, and we're only capable of doing so because of the internet.
Exactly.
It truly has opened up anything. And I think there's a lot of positives, and I think there's a lot of negatives.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's often where I don't even have the strength to pick up my cell phone. I can't. I've been out social media'd. I'm out teched. I don't want to be in front of my computer.
Correct.
I have a tent in that room. I don't know if you saw it, but
didn't, no.
I brought it up with me from Cape Town because I was like, there is no way that I'm sitting in this apartment and not going camping. No.
When did you move up from Cape Town and why?
I moved up in, I'd say, September last
Okay.
year. I quit my studies June. I went to Taiwan, came back, and I didn't take my flight to Cape Town. Took my flight to Joburg.
Okay.
And then unpacked my suitcase. Pretty much found this place, unpacked my suitcase here, flew back to Cape Town, got the rest of my stuff, cleared out my apartment. That same weekend I got a tenant for my apartment in Cape Town.
Okay.
It
Wow.
was in
Lucky.
high demand. Yeah, I mean, it was a 5,500 Rand monthly with a massive view of the
Oh,
entire
well, in
Cape,
Cape
Town.
that's, yeah.
It's like insane. Anyway, so I packed up. I literally got the rest of my stuff here. My computer, I sold my computer because I got sponsorship, so that means that
Correct.
I could actually just get a laptop to game off of. It's easier for me to move around with
Of
anyway.
course.
Also needed the money to move. And then got my car driven up by truck, so it came up here and settled in.
Okay.
That was it. Easiest. And the reason why I did it is because most esports events are in South Africa. The last portion of my 2017 was extremely busy. I think my last event was on my birthday, the 2nd of December.
Oh, wow.
That was my last event of the year, and I did so many. I did ECL, Aces for Gaming, which is a Go gaming event that was hosted here as the Nexus. The Nexus is it's a esports hub, I guess that you can call it. It's really cool, actually. I really suggest people should go look out or check it out if you're in Joburg area.
Okay.
The Nexus. You can go game there. There's some PlayStation rooms, some VR rooms. There's a really cool little comic book store there. It has its own restaurant. The milkshakes.
So basically, we can go and nerd our faces off.
Yeah. And you can
What
you
you
can pretty
say.
much stay there for the weekend. Energy's boot camp is in like the basement area, so it's completely done up. Energy, everything. They have their computers and stuff. So yeah, it's really sick. Anyway, that's all here in Joburg, and I needed internet. I needed good, solid internet. And the guy whose mom I was streaming at, he moved to Joburg. He's the owner of Arena, which is one of South Africa's biggest events hosting companies for esports.
Okay.
They're sponsored by Red Bull,
nice.
MSI, LG, all of those people. New Metro. So their offices is at New Metro. Seriously?
Yeah. Somebody just started drilling. Oh, that's great.
We're having a podcast here.
Very rude.
So their offices are in New Metro, behind the cinemas, and they have an entire cinema booked out every time there's a Dota or CS:GO tournament.
Oh,
You can literally just go
wow.
watch. So you're sitting there with popcorn, drinks,
Watching
everything.
the game.
Empress
How
Palace,
cool.
New Metro. Guys, really need to go check it out. It is such a vibe. Everybody go from Joburg. We watch the Dota 2 TI. And we watch E-League, we watch all of that there, so it's great. Shall I close the door?
No, let's carry on.
Sure.
Let's see how it goes. Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real. This is real, guys.
Yeah, great stuff. Arena Online, go check it out. They have been, putting out ESWC, the Electronic Sports World Cup qualifiers, they host that.
Oh, wow.
So it's great fun, and they do a lot of esports related things. So very cool group of people to go check out. But because they moved up here, I was like, okay, if you guys are going to take over Joburg and the scene here, then I'm also here. So every time you go out of an event, I'm here, literally down the road. I can drive there. Because flying up is hard. And justifying that for sponsorships the whole time, if you have to do it almost week in, week out, it's very hard.
Well, purely from a cost point of view, it would be cheaper literally just to live here.
Just to live here. And it made so much sense to me because obviously, everything is here. I'm talking like
it's true.
Studios, internet, all the events. Again, like I was saying, Rush was happening, Rage was happening.
And you played at Rage.
Yeah. So I did a whole bunch of stuff.
And for the non-nerd guys out there,
okay, yes.
right? Rage is
insane.
That's it. In South Africa,
Yeah.
is there anything bigger than Rage?
Expo, because it's an expo. So think about it that way. When you're looking esports, yes, there's things that are bigger.
Okay.
But that
in
is,
terms of
but
expo,
that would probably be
Rage
something
is
that you could watch from your couch. Rage is an expo.
Correct.
And a LAN is insane. We're looking at like 2,000, 3,000 man LAN. I think even bigger, maybe even 5,000 this year. I don't know if they broke the record yet. 5,000 people chilling around the Coca-Cola Dome, or I don't know what
playing
they call
games.
it now.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah.
I think they rebranded it again. Anyway.
Is it the MTN Dome now?
No.
Okay. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Ticket Pro Dome. There you go.
go.
So you sit around and everybody's gaming. You walk down. You're staying overnight there. So for 3 days, 2 nights, you're staying there. Then we have the entire floor space, which is just packed full of artists, figurines, Xboxes there, PlayStations there, VR machines, MSI, insane stuff. Like, it's the best components. They all do cheap prices there. EveTech comes there with their specials. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And then this year we had ESL Africa, which is an international league who decided to make an African division. So North Africa versus South Africa, pretty much.
Interesting.
And that's what the playoffs was 2 South African teams. And it was quite insane. A massive little freaking trophy no one could pick up because it's too heavy.
Really?
Yeah.
Bad planning.
It was great. And yeah, I mean,
It's insane.
It's just huge.
One of our companies, I used to be managing director of a group of companies, and I'm still a director of it. But one of the companies we've got is an IT company, and it's called Bisho IT. And part and parcel of that company is our mutual friend Bryn. So he does my web dev, and Bryn actually developed my Thought Lab podcast website, which is done in a really tricky manner, because it's tricky. I mean, not tricky. I mean, tricky cool, right? Because I upload everything to my website. You see, I upload everything to my website, and from there, everything just gets dispersed through to iTunes and through to Stitcher via RSS feeds. And I mean, very cool. But the point is, I've got this IT company with this bunch of incredible nerds who I love to the nth degree. I think they are the greatest. In fact, I've just moved into their office now because I'm working more with web dev and I'm working more with the graphics and the IT and things like that. And every year, these guys, because the whole group has this philosophy of departmental team builders, right? And every year, the IT guys are like, right, Rage. and we'll sit there because apparently the tickets to get tickets is insane. And
Yeah,
we'll sit there
it
and be like,
flies.
right, it's open. We've bought 10 tickets. We're going to Rage.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what they want to do. And I mean, how
insane, yeah.
incredible, how awesome.
Yeah. No, Rage is really great. And I've gone to Rage for the last 6 years now consecutively. I don't think I've missed a year. And the really cool thing about the last one was, well, the last three. I don't actually know anymore. How many times have I done this? But I was representing a team, a esports team. The last one I didn't. No, the last one I didn't. An esports team. So I was in Aperture Gaming. I was wearing their shirts, and I was at the stand playing as an Aperture Gaming player. And then you get to 1v1 me. If you beat me, you get a prize.
Oh, wow.
So for the last few Rage, I sort of created this 1v1 system just because I was bored from standing there. I'm not a promo girl.
Okay,
And,
fair enough.
and I just said to the people, look, I'm going to let people verse me and just see what happens. And I was doing really well. Next year, they put up a major flat screen monitor for me to do the same thing. Did that. It had a queue. I'm talking literally
Everybody wants to beat the bish.
Everybody was standing there. I was like, whoa, I was so overwhelmed. I literally went home at 7. There was an after party. I was just like, guys,
I can't.
you know how keen I am? I need to go sleep first. I woke up at 10 and went out.
Okay.
Like, I was just like, oh my God, I need to sleep. It was the best and the worst thing ever because I was so tired. And I was playing off of a laptop monitor because it was to show that the MSI gaming notebooks can handle this type of gaming. So the following year, I pretty much designed my own setup. So I told them, guys, I want my own place. I want this specific laptop for myself. The competitive needs to have an equal of what I have.
Of course, otherwise it wouldn't be fair.
And then I want to have a flat screen again, and I want it to be open so that people can stand around me because they want to play, and they can stand in the queue and it won't be, issue. I did that last year, and it was such a success because we were right next to the ESL stage. So everybody who was watching the CSGO was then, oh, cool, we can go verse a chick.
You see.
It worked together so well. So I
nice. So you're planning on doing it again this year?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I think I want to sort of trademark that as a thing that I do at events.
I like it.
I 1v1 people.
That's real.
Yeah, and I lose often to people who don't even play CS because it's just so volatile. You never know, and because I then know the person doesn't play, I go easy on them. So I try and knife them, and I try to do other things so that, because you can literally see they're going like this with the gun. And I'm just like, okay, this would just be unfair of me to just step and tap the whole time because they have 10 rounds to beat me. And that takes a long time if you don't know what the heck you're doing.
Exactly.
And you're nervous. Some oaks' hands shake on the mouse, and I see it, and I feel so sorry for them.
But they want to take you on.
No, they want to take me on, but they're like, I'm like, guy, you don't have to stress. It's fine,
Hey, guys don't want to get beat by a chick, you know what I mean?
They don't like it.
No, they don't like
it. But, it's a great thing. And then, actually, I used that method to then get myself a ticket to Gamescom with MSI. So then I flew to Dubai this year. Yes. And I did that too.
Taipei, beginning of the year, and then Dubai, the end of the year.
No, Taipei was September-ish.
Okay.
And then I did Abu Dhabi November. I did Rage October. I did Rush August, I think it was.
Sheesh, busy life.
And then I did GAC December.
So let's talk about this busyness.
Yes.
Right, because that's manic.
Okay.
Right. What's interesting is when I was doing some research on you, and I was having a chat with some of the guys who know you, and they're all like, oh no, she's sponsored by MSI. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And she's sponsored by Nutritech. And I was like, yeah. And I checked out, and you have quite a serious trainer. Fitness.
Yes. So actually, funny enough, throughout high school, I wouldn't say overweight, but I was definitely chubby.
Okay.
I was definitely not your typical cheerleader looking chicks netball player, I was, first high school. Wow. I didn't do any school sports, so it made me very uncool already. But I was in a really cool group of girls. up until I started posting on Facebook and wherever that, oh, I'm going to OC, can't wait, you know, BBM status and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then posting pictures of me with my computer, so they were against it. I'm talking like instant, not talking to me, you're out of our group, not talking to us, you're weird. And the rest of my high school was just shit. Like, I really hated it. It was horrible. And actually something that I feel very strongly about, but that we can talk about now. I started working out when I was grade 10.
Okay.
I hated the way I looked, and I hated the fact that every time that I played games, it would just downward spiral, because I wouldn't consider what I'm eating. I would just eat so that I can be fed,
Yes.
so I can play.
Massive issue, eh?
And often it would just be loaves of white bread, you know, peanut butter,
Got you.
and
Chips.
going for it. And I'd never consider even caloric intake or macronutrients or anything that I was doing. It really only hit me when I went out of school. When I was like grade 11, grade 12, I did a lot of research as to what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And the first thing that I went to do was cut out all the sugars.
Good. No refined
bread.
sugars.
No, but I mean, this is just straight up, you know, CakeNet telling you how to eat, you know. No fizzy drinks. But I would still, and this is my issues, I would still eat a lot of
Got you.
other food. So my caloric intake per day versus what I was burning was still in surplus. So therefore I was not losing weight.
Of course.
And I only started learning about nutrition when I think I looked up like bodybuilding and stuff like that, because that was the first thing that I thought was like, this is how people get fit. Bodybuilders, you know, bodybuilders are fit.
Ouch.
And no, I actually learned a lot.
Okay, good.
Actually learned a lot. I did most of my research on bodybuilding.com. And even though I knew that I physically would not walk away with quads like these and six-pack abs and, you know, my pecs getting shredded, you know, like I wasn't into that, but I was interested in the supplements people were taking,
Sure.
the workouts they were doing, and what they were eating, and why, because I'm eating healthy, why am I not losing weight?
Makes sense, and you needed to figure out why.
So I was on bodybuilding.com. I've did a lot of research, by the way. Great place for scientific facts on food and just articles. They're very all-rounded, and then
Nice.
don't just focus on actual bodybuilding. It's very much fitness,
Health and wellness.
lifestyle. Yes. So I learned a lot. I found some people who are sponsored by bodybuilding.com. Amanda Bushi. She was the first person that I then went to YouTube to. She had this whole ebook on how to track your macros. And I then learned about macronutrients, MyFitnessPal, and this is all of like period of 2 years, you know. So it was a slow
Are
progress.
you using MyFitnessPal?
Yes, all the time.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know MyFitnessPal, it's actually an app.
Yes.
And it tracks all your training, it tracks
Yes.
all your food. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I did was I downloaded MyFitnessPal. I changed my macronutrients intake to my body weight and what my goals were. I then started going on this strict macronutrient counting thing, which I would say if any person with the obsessive personality it would lead to a definite eating disorder, like for sure.
Okay.
Because if I believe that you must do something correctly, but there's a point in time where you are obsessing about something and it's actually to your detriment.
Yeah, because what you've got to do is you've got to follow a structure,
Yes.
but you've got to listen to your body.
Yes. Because what I did was I did an immediate X. Cut. No. I was so tired of myself. I was so tired of looking and feeling the way I did that I dropped, I think it was like something crazy like 8 kgs in like a matter of a few months.
Wow, okay.
And I became very skinny mostly on my legs, and because I was still doing horse riding, my body started carrying a lot of top weight because I was riding, you know, big horses and ponies that were quite strong. So my arms got quite massive because I was gymming and whatever else, but I did cardio. So I was losing weight in my legs and my lower body, and I just
Okay.
went top heavy. Ooh, sorry.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Bump. There was a little bump,
I just
ladies.
went top heavy, and again I was like, damn it, what am I doing wrong?
Wrong.
I'm following this thing. And then again I went back to square one, still kept with MyFitnessPal, but I actually started gymming correctly. and I started doing circuit training because I was still quite weak in weights wise and unsure about form and so on. I did machine and cable.
What else would you turn to?
Machine cable, and I did, high intensity training, to a point now though that I've changed my routine so many times, and I've gone back to do research so many times that I've found what I like.
Which is what?
Which is, I still follow bodybuilding.com. Okay. I have a workout I have 2 different ones. I have 4 weeks to shred is the one workout program, which is pretty much 2 workouts a day, but I don't follow it as is. I take, okay, cool, today is Monday, I'm doing back, and I'll go check what the workouts is that's suggested for that back day, and I do them. Say there is, for example, I can't do bent over rows because I broke both my collarbones in horse riding accidents. So I can't do...
I'm giggling. I'll tell you now why I'm giggling.
I can't do bent over rows because it actually hurts me.
It would, yes.
And I actually feel bruised the next day on my collarbones because they're very skew now. They make S shapes. It's very odd.
Wonderful.
So I do lat pull downs and different, maneuvers, and I've learned so many things from YouTubers like Amanda Boucher, Nikki Blackletter, Whitney Simmons. All of those girls are all Gymshark athletes, all bodybuilding.com athletes. They have taught me so much because of in weight training that I now know what I'm doing in weight training. But what my body needs is a very long cardio warm up with, spiking my heart rate. That gets me going the best. And then when I start doing weight training, every third exercise I do, I stop for a cardio blast. So that would be anything from step ups to, it's still weighted, but it's just something that elevates my heart rate because I don't sweat. I don't know why. I struggle.
Really?
I struggle to get...
Oh, wow.
I sit in a sauna and I'm just like, come on.
Let's go.
It's hot as hell in here. What is going on?
It's because you're from Cape Town and you're weird.
Well, I mean,
Unicorns don't sweat. Julia.
So I always struggle and I'm like, okay, why is my heart rate back? I mean, I've been going at this for the last 2 hours. My gym sessions are quite vigorous, especially when I was living in Cape Town. I used to go every single day. I still had class, I had patients to see, I was gaming and I was gymming all at the same time. I was still putting 2 hours a day out for gym.
Wow.
Yeah. And I learned a lot because I now know exactly what makes me go to a stalemate, what makes me go to cut, what makes me go to bulk, what makes you do what. And
but we were talking about it before this podcast, I don't believe that one specific diet is right for you, and I also don't believe that one specific training session is right for you. I've tried CrossFit, and for me, in the environment that I was in, CrossFit just wasn't good for me because I've also got messed up shoulders. Supraspinatus from when I was young, and I had a gym, and broken shoulders from motorbike accidents.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And all the rest of it. And I think the important thing is to go out there and first of all get information, but second of all find what works for you.
Yeah.
I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu now, so that's great, and I've been doing it for many, many years, and I need to supplement it with something, and right now I can't because of my keto diet just for the next little while. But now I'm going, okay, what's next? What am I going to look for? What am I going to do?
Exactly.
And it's so cool that you found your thing.
Exactly.
And it's so cool that you found your balance.
So this is my
because
thing.
the gaming.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So my thing is that I swear by fitness and gaming going together. I don't see it any other way.
Well, healthy mind.
Healthy
body.
Yes.
Healthy body, healthy mind.
But to me, it's more important than that because when I was just gaming and I'm fully submerged in gaming, when I was really practicing for, COD and everything, I became so tired all the time, and I have a vitamin B deficiency.
Okay.
So I, actually take supplements for it now where I struggle to wake up in the morning. I can't. I will be a zombie for the next 4 hours up until it reached 12.
You're not doing bad considering what time we've started.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking my meds.
That's great.
So to me, it's I use supplements that aren't high in caffeine stimulation. I use stuff that don't make me crash. So I use stuff that is more vitamin dense because that usually gives my body more
nutrients
and stamina.
Okay.
So when I game, and especially streaming, I go to gym straight before my stream. I don't do it in the morning.
Oh wow, okay, that's
I go to gym and I do a 2 hour very intense gym session where I literally came back, I couldn't come up the stairs. I couldn't walk up the stairs because I did legs, and I haven't done legs in a while since, how my year started with food poisoning and so on.
I know.
So I really want to get my legs back into shape, because that is something that I lose my muscle on the first. So I was doing legs, and I was doing just a small little circuit. I wasn't even doing weights, nothing. I was doing low intensity cardio. Then I set out myself a little small circuit with my favorite leg exercises, lunges, squats, jump squats, very small little just leg stuff, and then supplemented it with some shoulder weights just because I'd like balance. Came back after 2 hours because I was listening to drum and bass and I just got carried away. I enjoyed myself too much. And I was like, okay, this is going to be an issue. I have to walk home. The gym is up the road. So I walked home and I was like, I hope I make it. And I get here and I literally sat down, and that sitting down was probably the worst thing I could have done because I got stiff instantly. So when I got up from streaming, I was like,
you almost died.
Yeah, but I go to gym straight before my stream because I am then the most pumped. I've had my pre-workout throughout my gym session because I drink my pre-workout during my cardio session, so it actually continues through to my my weight section, and then I do a cool down walk, which is mostly walking home, and I am then still so pumped with the pre-workout in me that my mind and the endorphins.
Exactly. I was just about to say, it's actually the dopamine.
I'm so happy. I'm so excited. I sit in front of the camera and I can talk literally for hours.
And you found that balance. And here's a third balance. And again, I said to you before the podcast, we've got a mutual friend, and we're probably both taking exactly the same supplements, and that's Prime Self.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes. So Prime Self actually sponsors Big Five, which is one of my best friends, Tulani's clan he plays for.
Okay.
And I met the guys from Prime Self at my charity event. Yeah, I had a poker charity event for gamers. And it wasn't a charity, it was a poker event, and then at the charity event another time when I met Ricky. So there was a few times now that I've met Tristan once, and I think I met him at Rage, was the other time. And I've actually never used Prime Self.
Oh, really?
Not because of any other reason other than I have not had the products in my hands yet. But there's a lot of stuff like that that's on the market right now, specifically for gamers. I know Prime Self is not just directed to gamers, they're overall.
So what Prime Self is they make multiple sets of products, but the one and the one I'm specifically referring to is called Mind.
Yes.
Which is actually a nootropic.
Yeah, nootropic.
Right.
Yes.
And I mean, just before we came, I took Focus.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So I took, so they've got Focus, they've got Mind, they've got Active, which I'm taking at the moment as well.
Awesome.
So I got hold of Tristan last year, and because I wanted to find a nootropic. The best nootropic out there that we all know of is of course On Its Alpha Brain.
Okay.
And most people know On Its Alpha Brain. And the problem is the exchange rate. Bringing it into South Africa, it's very, 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 very expensive. And I wanted to find something. So I was online and I was busy looking and having a look, and I came across this company and decided, okay, it looks good. And I looked at all the products, and the products look good. And especially the Mind product had some really interesting products in it. And so I phoned up Tristan and I started having a chat with him, because I'm not going to buy something without first testing. And I said to him, you've got this caffeine product. What's going on with this caffeine product? And he goes, no, it's a very specific caffeine. And I was like, what is it? And he goes, something you've probably never heard of. It's called yerba mate. Now in jiu-jitsu, mate is known all around the world. I mean, in Argentina, mate is so nutrient rich that in Argentina, the very, very, very poor people actually drink it just to stay alive. Okay, it's that nutrient rich. Now we know about mate, so I was like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. I've looked at his products. I'm going to order some, and I ordered some, and he sent me the Active. And guess what? He's on the podcast soon.
Oh, great!
And we're going to be talking nootropics. Yeah,
well, you should definitely ask him about Big Five.
It's something. I will, absolutely. It's something that I'm so passionate about. It's this relationship and balance between the mind, right, the body, physical, which is exactly what you're doing, and finding your balance in terms of gaming, which takes massive amounts of concentration. So now I need to feed my mind. Well, how do I feed my mind? Well, I need to feed it with food, so nootropics. I need to feed it with proper food, and then I need to feed my body, which is training.
Exactly.
And I mean, you've got that perfect balance. And I see so many guys who game, and I see so many of my nerd friends, with love and respect. And man, these guys are overweight and they're living horrible lives.
No.
You know, and they're sitting there playing these games. Is it true, and I've heard it said before, that people have died playing WoW?
Yeah.
And by wow, I mean World of Warriors.
Yeah.
Like literally sat there until they've died.
So the thing with World of Warcraft is that it's so long, and battles and stuff like that can go on for years. Like you never stop gaming. You just never do. You just never do. It's like a continuous black hole of just going in deeper and deeper and deeper. And I really admire people who play World of Warcraft because I get bored very easily. Very easily. My attention span is like this, and therefore I play FPS games because to me it's like it's quick, fast reaction. Shooter. I won't ever hold the same angle every single round because I'm just too freaking active. Like I'm like a little bunny, you know? I can't. And that's why AWPing to me is more of like a trick shot type of thing versus how people are supposed to play it, crouch peeking corners. I can't do that. That's annoying because I'm like...
Because you're bored.
I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to get around a corner. Yeah, just to see somebody
shoot
them.
So to me, it's like I jump around, I'm flicking, I'm banging through walls. Maybe I hit a crazy shot, and I do often. And because I'm always doing something. With World of Warcraft, a lot of people will say it's the same because there's spells going. You have to be fast with your fingers. You have to keep going and completely, submerged in this world and becoming this character and playing this character so that your other team can become victorious. And then you need to upgrade, and you need to upgrade your skills according to what your team needs and all of these things. It's insane. So, I mean, yeah, sure. If you enjoy World of Warcraft, that's great. I don't.
But don't die doing it.
Don't die.
Yeah, because that'll spoil your whole weekend.
Yeah, but the thing is that video gaming is just that entertaining. And I think people should understand that nobody has ever died watching a TV show because it was too entertaining to walk away from.
Yeah.
And I think
you're saying it's that addictive, eh?
It's not even addictive. It is that entertaining.
Okay.
It is so good that said person decided that I would rather die
than leave
because I'm gonna miss something.
And that's frightening.
That is.
Know? And I mean, if you look at these young guys now, I mean, so if you talk about a professional team, right, gaming team, you've got your players, right? You've got a manager, you've got a mental coach.
Yeah.
You might be sponsored by somebody who sells something like nootropics. I think they're all on some sort of physical
not necessarily.
Or progress. Okay.
Not necessarily. There's a lot of people that don't do it. I know, for example, Tulani, Big Five, that is sponsored by nootropics. Tulani, he works out. Specifically, he does reflex training. He does reaction training, like with his hands, his mind, everything.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
He has like 4 other teammates that doesn't do shit.
That does, yeah.
Like they sit at home, they play CS, they leave.
But I think...
So there is definitely, I would say there is reasons and manners to do things. Do all of them do it? 100% not. I would say less do it than they should. I know a lot of gamers, and I can't tell you how many of them actually go to gym to better their game. Most of them probably just do it because they go to gym because they like it. But my thing is this, that esports, if you're taking it in a professional competitive manner,
which it is,
you need to, and if you want to become the best, do everything in your power to maximize your performance, because that is what an athlete should be doing, right? To me, that does not necessarily mean that you need to go lift weights and deadlifts and go crazy. That's just personally something that I like doing because I like also focusing on my fitness. I enjoy fitness as a hobby.
Yes.
And I would, if I could, hire a trainer and, probably do a bikini show. That's something that I can see myself doing.
Okay.
100%. If there's any trainers out
there. You and all the other nerds out
there,
there, right?
Yeah. So whereas a whole bunch of other people would just say, went to the gym today, rode on the bike for 15 minutes, got off, and I'm feeling good. That's all they need. And I think there should be a balance, but I think most of the time it should start with eating. I could say that a whole bunch of gamers would be healthier and happier if they just understood the basics of food,
correct, and
nutrients and so forth, and then supplementing that with just getting out, because not even gymming per se, but taking up something like jiu-jitsu or mixed martial arts or
anything,
anything, hiking over the weekend, or just going to see your friends.
Yeah, get some vitamin D.
Yeah, just go
Get
do
out.
something, get out. Because if you are enclosed the whole time, you not only look horrible when you
Correct.
actually leave the house, because you literally become a ghost, but you also lose a lot of chutzpah. You do. You don't see people, they don't react fast enough, they're just sitting there. I have a lot of friends that I can have a conversation to. They're probably the best esports players in the world, but they reserve all their energy for when they're behind the computer. Because they won't talk to you, they won't get up and do anything.
Well, one of the things for this podcast was, we were talking and I said, guys, I want to get somebody on within this realm because I love it and I think it's really interesting. And a couple of guys from the office mentioned you, and I said, my first question was, can you hold a conversation?
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't being disrespectful to you, but that, if you can't
a
hold
big
it.
thing.
Yeah. I know
It's
a lot of
not a-
guys who are
it's-
geniuses, right? And IT nerds and gamers and stuff. I can't hold a conversation with them.
Yeah,
In which case, what are we going to sit here and talk about?
exactly.
And that's a massive problem.
Yeah, no, it is. But to me, so this is why I approached Nutritech. I approached them actually. I tagged them in a few pictures because I've been using Nutritech for a while.
Okay.
Because I genuinely believe in their products. And this is the same with MSI. I've been working for MSI for a while for free because I genuinely believed in their products.
Fair
So
enough.
when I finally joined the company, it was a complete no-brainer because I still stand by their products. Now even more so because I actually understand a lot more. So with Nutritech, it was the same. I was using their whey protein and I was using their thermogenic fat burner. I was not using a pre-workout from them yet because I was pretty much against pre-workouts up until pretty recently, and I'll tell you why now. But I used Nutritech's products for a while, and I used to tag them in a whole bunch of my Instagram stories, like, this is my day-to-day gaming life, I'm going to go to gym now, this is what I use for like a pre-workout stimulant. I use my thermogenic fat burner.
I don't know what bike is just riding past. Oh well, carry on.
I use a thermogenic fat burner as a pre-workout because it gave me just enough without making me feel weird. I didn't like the feeling impact.
Yes.
I liked the placebo effect, and I liked the stamina it gave me because I genuinely didn't get tired. So the thing is that then I started using whey protein because I just genuinely liked the fact that I could have my meal in a cup and sit behind my computer and drink it. I think it was just a
Well,
quick
rather that than a packet of chips.
post-workout snack. And a lot of the time, I won't be funny, but I actually had my pre-workouts, my whey proteins as dessert. Because I felt like when I was eating very healthy, like extremely healthy, I needed something to give me a balance. So what I would do is I would take my whey protein, I would add peanut butter in it, add honey in it for extra sweetness, a whole bunch of blueberries and bananas, and that whole shake would be so rich in sweetness and flavor that to me that was my dessert, and I was very satisfied. So that's what got me through it, and I started feeling very passionate about letting other people who are following me, who are gamers, see that I'm physically fit as well, and I'm taking that seriously too, so that if I'm ever influencing anybody, that they don't just see I want to become a video gamer, but I also want to become a healthy, well-rounded human being.
Correct.
Because that is our duty to our bodies.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, we have this meat vehicle.
Yeah.
And that's what we have.
Exactly.
And it's with us.
Yeah.
And until some freaky science comes out in the future where we can maybe upload our brains into the computer, which, may or may not, and that's a different discussion happen. But right now we've got this meat vehicle, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's exactly why I'm exploring the ketogenic diet at the moment. It's exactly why I believe you need to look at different diets and look at different training methodologies.
Exactly.
And because, I know a lot of guys who are a lot younger than me, and I look at them and I'm like, bud, you've got a problem. You need to do something.
No. It's very hard to teach someone to do something by word of mouth.
Of course. Show them.
It comes from interest. To change someone's behavior, to change someone's habits, to change a bad habit, it needs to come from the first person.
Admittance.
It needs to come from, okay, I know I'm wrong. First thing. I know I'm wrong, but how do I fix this? Interest. Then, okay, I know how to be better. Can I do it? And then, okay, I'm taking the first step in doing it. I literally just started, probably like my first week of dieting. And then that part, that's where you come in. Sorry.
Not at all.
That part, that's where you come in, where you have to then teach them to continue.
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing, we can do nothing.
That's the only, because
we
that's
can do
how
nothing
I
until
changed.
they admit it.
That's how I changed. I didn't like what I was doing. I went to find out more information. I got my information. I started applying the information. The information didn't work. I seeked out different ways of doing it. I found Amanda Bucci and other people who were talking about macronutrients and showing it into their day-to-day life. Them, you know, what they put in their shakes, when they're on a like massive bikini cut, what they start eating. I started learning about how to cook my oats in a very delicious way so that my oats are very, very low in fats and carbs. But then I have a lot more to use in the rest of the day and know exactly how to, like I said, I understood what I was doing. And then the motivation came in where I was like, okay, she is doing this. This is how she looks. She's not perfect. I mean, she has a complete opposite body type than I have. She has very thick legs, very small waist, whereas I'm the complete opposite, literally.
Okay.
You know, and I had to find someone that had my body type so that when I saw their day-to-day life, it was a little bit more relatable in the sense that I could be like, okay, this girl is trying to put on weight in her legs, but at the same time she also wants to tone up because her legs are very skinny, but she knows it's skinny because she's not eating correctly. That's literally how my body works, and I can't tell any other male gamer how to eat.
Of course not.
To make them healthy.
But you know what it starts with, and Rory and I discussed this 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It starts with, I think that dieting or change in your eating habits is too hard.
It is.
I think it starts with do something physical. It doesn't matter what it is, but do it. Go for a walk, go for a run, go for a swim, ride a bicycle, I don't care. And then as you start doing that, naturally you're going to turn around and go, you know, I've just spent 30 minutes running, okay?
I'm not going to waste that.
Yeah, I'm going to look at that Coke and I'm going to be like, okay, I'll have a Coke, but I'm going to have half. Or I'm going to buy a Coke and I'm saying I'm going to have a Coke Zero. And then I look at the Coke a week later and I go, no, I'll have a water. And now all of a sudden I have the water and I start feeling better. So I start training a little bit harder. And it's got to be the cycle of change. Because I'm very serious about training. And I mean, I have been for a long time. And let me tell you, I've been through absolute hell with this keto diet.
Yeah.
And it's only because I'm so maybe stupid and thick-headed that I've stuck out with it. But I don't know most people who would have. But I'm in it. I'm training. I'm doing my thing. You know, I'm in this life and I'm battling my ass off.
Exactly.
So imagine some random people. Do you know how many people have come up to me and gone, hey, Hans, can you give me your diet, your keto diet? I'm like, no. Listen to my podcast. Go and think about it and decide if you want to try it, because this is not easy.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd be doing them a disservice by going, oh yeah, here we go. Try it. Here's a piece of paper. Go for it. No.
No.
It doesn't work like that.
So to me, with the whole Nutritech thing, I approached them and I said, look, I feel very passionately about fitness. I am an esports personality, so I'm not going to make squat videos for you guys.
No.
I will be...
Squat videos.
Yeah, because that's literally all that's on YouTube right now. But I will be able to... I'll be able to do something in South Africa that I don't think is being pushed enough. And that is promoting fitness
within the gaming environment.
Environment, but not only gaming, but esports, to a point that your products could actually motivate a team to perform better.
Yeah.
And that is something that is very important, the same as it is with soccer, cricket, whatever other sports you sponsor. I feel like that's important to consider, that esports is a thing now. You can't ignore it.
It's not going away.
It's not going away. It's only getting bigger. And if you want to get into an industry and start changing things and making things better, then I suggest doing it X way. So I got some products from Nutritech. I did a major review on it. I've used every single product they gave me. And not only, I think, yes, maybe I am a unicorn, and maybe something that, no, and I'm saying it in this way because I don't think everybody should be me.
No.
But I would like people to consider the fact that a really good balance would be a great thing to do, even if it's just once a week going to the gym, or just doing something and overall changing small things in your diet, like cutting out sugar, like considering a non-nutritive supplement for sugar, which is what I've been on for like the longest time. I don't consume any sugars, raw sugars. I know exactly what I'm putting in my body, and I consider the outcome of all of that, so much so that I know actually what certain foods outcome is on my body, but not only how I look, but how I feel. And therefore I stay away from certain things just because I actually don't find them appetizing anymore.
I'm with you.
So I got, and this is where it comes back down to the pre-workout, I got the Amino Pre from Nutritech, and it changed my life.
Okay.
Because it's the first pre-workout that doesn't give you tingles on the skin at all. It's more of a booster, like it's more of like a glorified Energade, but without the sugar. So it's, what I like to think of it is, because obviously there's BCAAs and amino acids in, which helps recovery time and all of that as well. So for me, that's prime. But at the same time, all I have to do is drink 1 scoop, and it can go all the way up to 4 scoops in one sitting. And the 1 scoop gives you a booster, like an energy booster, espresso shot.
Okay.
2 of them is what I use for pre-workout. 3 of them is if you're going to go now real hardcore and you've been on 2 for quite a while, you can go all the way up to 4 scoops of this powder, shake it up in a glass, and it tastes insane. So now what I'm thinking, if I'm ever at a competition and I'm feeling a bit lethargic and someone pops me a Red Bull, I'm going to be like,
no thanks.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my BCAAs, because not only is the vitamins and the amino acids and the BCAAs in there good for me, but it is something that is just enough to get me to that level and I don't crash.
And I think on top of that, you should consider something like a Prime Self Mind.
Oh yeah.
And something like a Prime Self Focus.
I believe fully in stuff like that, and there's actually more products like that on the mind. Like Nutro is someone that sponsored me some nootropics.
Okay.
And they're also a South African based company. I'll actually show you the product after the podcast, but they gave me this to do a review on, and it's also a focus tablet. They like to see it more of as an all-rounder, whereas Prime Self like targets certain one. They'd say after breakfast in the morning, pop a pill, and your focus would be, a little bit more enhanced throughout the day. What I did was I did that one day. Personally, I just felt like I woke up early in the morning, which is exactly what nootropics is supposed to do. Is just give you that little extra clarity. It doesn't like change your life. You're not going to go through. But
sorry, remembering one thing as well. I mean, if you take something
crazy.
like a mind product, you're not going to take a mind product and feel the effects today.
No. So I took it. I did a week, and then there was times where I took it just before my stream instead of in the morning.
Okay.
Which was interesting because that's not what the instructions said, and I did my stream fully. Didn't break focus or anything. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too random. But I still slept the evening, so it was nothing that kept my brain going.
Yes.
It's not something like, I don't know, something that makes you not be able to sleep. It's not like a caffeine tablet or anything. This specific product, I felt, if I want to buy nootropics and do it in the esports realm specifically, I'm not saying like day to day for people, I would say the way people would take it would be specifically on days that are now like really hectic. I have team practice, but we're doing strats and we're scrimming afterwards, so I'll have a nootropic. Or if there's the weeks leading up to a major event, there is a few different ways, and not I'm saying nootropics, but any performance enhancing like tablets or anything, that is where I think gamers would start taking, because that's how I would consider it. I won't do it every single day of my life.
The mind product I would take every day, but the focus, again, it's early in the morning. I was driving here, I've had a really rough week, so I decided to take focus just for this. It's not something I take every day. I take it as and when I feel. I also don't care. I'll take it 30 minutes before, boom, done, hit it. And the active, I do the same. I mean, the active just lies in my car and okay, I'm going to train now and I'm tired, and I take some. And as with everything in life, if I consistently take products over and over again, my body's going to become accustomed to that product. Even with diet, if I have the same diet every single day, eventually my body's going to become accustomed to it. So you've got to trick your body, even with training. You can't just do the same thing all the time. You've got to change it up. You've got to find this balance for yourself. But the problem is that people people are so unaware of who they are and how things even make them feel, that they don't understand that I eat something, I feel terrible. I just feel terrible. But you've got to start becoming self-aware. You know, if I do this, the repercussions are X and Y and Z, or the positives are X and Y and Z.
But that does take a certain mindset in people, and unfortunately, I don't feel like many people I meet, for example, they would be like, oh, I just, you know, like you said, give me your diet, or you know, how does your day, I'm gonna just copy paste it in my life. It doesn't work like that, because the possibility is that you are probably not mentally prepared to live the way I do, because it took me years to get to the point where I am now. I'm one of those, I wouldn't say types of people, but I hyper criticize myself, and I see what I want to become, and I become it no matter what. I know I need to figure out how to get there, and I will get there as soon as I freaking possibly can, and I'll keep that going.
So on that note, let's talk about what you want to become. Right. Give me Jules Bish in 3 years.
So stuff like this is very hard for me to talk about, because so many things change like that. But in a perfect world, in 3 years, I would have already lived in a European American, or specifically European American country for about 6 months continuously, streaming gaming there and exploring the esports scene in said area. I would love to do Germany. I would love to do London, but Germany is still better than London. And then I would like to do the US, but I'm way more, I don't know why, but I really want to do Europe. Like, it's speaking to me. So
it's your thing.
It's my thing. So I want to do Europe really, really badly. Sweden, I can see myself there easily. Poland, I can see myself in a really cold country. I don't know why. So yeah, ask me.
I'm the complete opposite.
So yeah, to me, that's, I would have lived there, would have resided there, would have had my apartment set up, everything going, and I would probably still be doing the type of job I'm doing right now, which is pretty much, I can work wherever I am in the world, as long as I have
laptop,
really
internet.
good internet.
There we go.
So that, but I do have some unfinished business in the professional esports scene. I feel like I'm 22 years old. I'm young. And,
oh wow, you are very young.
And I can still achieve better accomplishments than what I have already. Yeah, I mean,
Guys, drilling again.
It's a Saturday.
Saturday morning. We're doing a podcast.
He's putting together his new TV. You don't know. So to me, it's just, I still feel like I have some unfinished business. I would like to be considered in a professional all-female girl team, but at international level. I still feel like that is something that's in my reach. Do I feel like that's a priority? Do I feel like I can't go on with life without it? No.
But it would be nice.
But it would be nice for me to accomplish that, because that was a dream of mine when I started.
Carry on.
Cut.
Not much we can do about it.
So to me, it's just, that is something that I really want to do, to consider and pursue. But I mean, as was horse riding. So it's. I mean, I wanted to go to the Olympics for horse riding. So I mean,
horse riding, show jumping,
dressage.
Or event, dressage.
Yeah.
Because my fiance is a show jumping instructor.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Oh, great.
So she's show jumping. She jumps 140s.
Oh, great. Okay.
That's big.
No, they're quite big.
600 kilograms, 1.4 meters, 700 kilograms.
That's great.
Okay, so you're dressage.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question.
I make them horses dance.
You make them horses dance, right? How did you fall and break both of your collarbones making them dance?
Not at the same time.
No,
well,
I jest.
But
my fiance has literally broken her collarbones. That's why I'm
mine's
laughing.
on the right one. I fell off a bicycle, actually, not a horse.
Okay, not a horse.
But I was very young, broke a collarbone, and I literally walked with my arm like this back to my mom crying, and then she was on the phone, so I fell asleep on the bed. Next moment I woke up in the hospital. That's all I can remember.
Oh, shame.
Yeah, she didn't think I was serious. A broken collarbone, mom. 6 years old.
Sit down.
And then this one, I rolled my horse, physically rolled him. He actually flipped over me. So we did eventing. My horse was a horse that I chose.
So you did do eventing, right?
For the fun, yeah.
Okay.
So I was just riding around, galloping in the arena, and it was a downhill ditch jump, but my horse's front foot got stuck and he flipped over me. So I just remember doing like a barrel roll like over his shoulder and then seeing him come over me and then his wither just
hit you.
But I don't know how I did not break my shoulder because he fell on my shoulder. But it snapped my collarbone. Anyway, collarbone off, rode my horse back up.
Of course, because
Got
what else
up.
are you going to do?
Yeah.
You can't walk it.
Because again, I only thought like I dislocated my shoulder. Like I've seen that happen a few times. It was hanging sort of the same way. So rode up, got off my horse, started shaking. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling very weird. I think I need to just get some sugar in me or something. They start bringing me Coke, like, because no one understood what was going on. I was the most experienced person at the stable yard at the time.
Oh, really?
And
Is this in Cape Town?
yeah, and then I was like, okay, can someone just like call my trainer because it's on his property, but he was off property. I was like, just call my trainer, just ask him what should I do. So they're like, yeah, Julia fell off her horse. She just wants to know what she must do. It's like, is she hurt? She's like, yeah, she can't move her arm. Maybe go to the hospital.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't this be the first thing you did?
Yeah,
Julia?
so like 2 hours later, after me watching some TV and like hopefully this thing will pop back in because still thinking my shoulder popped out.
Hoping.
Yeah, well, still thinking because I was like, no, well, I don't break bones. My cousin came to fetch me, drove me to the hospital. I passed out in the car because of the bumps of the road.
The pain.
Passed out because now the adrenaline is worn off completely. Got to the hospital, my collarbone was snapped in two. And yeah, that's that story. I also cracked my back and my wrist, all from horse riding. So
yeah.
It's
look,
times.
you must understand.
Ride.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and I got a hematoma in my hip.
Wow. What a joy.
Yeah.
What a joy.
No, I roll out my shoulders almost every single time I go to gym because it's just too much pain, and I click my back every single day, so it's insane. Yeah, I'm a literally at the age of I think 40, I'll just be like reaching my body cap, and I'll just be like, cool.
In a wheelchair.
Yep, arthritis everywhere.
Done and dusted. Hopefully, we'll have figured out a way to get away from that.
Well, I can still game.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway.
Just a very high sensitivity, so I don't have to move my arms too much.
Slowly.
Yeah, or controller. Then maybe I'll think about it.
Controller will work.
Yeah.
Look, in your game, I mean, in your line of work, you don't need a lot. So if you're just confined to a wheelchair, you're okay.
So yeah.
As long as your thumbs work.
I guess so. But you did ask 3 years. I like to not think about 3 years because I still feel like that is quite short term. I like to look at 10 years.
Perfect.
Because of what I'm doing.
I would like to ordinarily ask for 10 years, but most people can't answer that.
Because I can't answer anything before 10 years.
So what's your 10 years?
My 10 years is I've done my traveling. I've done my non-family traveling, like no commitments traveling. I'm talking about I've done, the full Monty from holidays, from work, from, places that I just really want to see, cheap holidays that I didn't think about. I want to travel and see quite a bit and experience. So when I say experience, it's not stuff like holiday package on the beach, chilling.
Real
I'm
stuff.
like, yeah.
Go.
I mean, I went to Mauritius recently and hired a scooter and physically drove around, that was my thing. So
I go twice a year.
Nice.
For my clubs.
So I did a whole bunch of, I want to do a whole bunch of stuff like that. I would have, lived in a different country, possibly already migrated over. I don't think I'll never come back to South Africa. The ultimate for me would be living in South Africa, but traveling overseas. But I don't know how much that would be.
If it's feasible.
If it's feasible, especially because in 10 years I would want to have a family. So by then, I think I'll start taking roles. I still would like to develop the esports community. I would probably take something more in project management, event management roles, because I really enjoy events. Like events is like my thing, If there's an event happening this year, I'm so excited. I really just want to help. Where can I help? What can I do for you guys? Which area have you guys not planned yet? Can I take over the planning? The admin side of it I find very fun. So I think I'll probably be taking more project management roles in that type of sphere. And I'd probably consider looking into being more of a PR person in regards to, esports teams and clans and stuff like that. And just trying to develop the esports scene as much as possible. I don't know where esports is going to be in 10 years, and at the rate that it's currently growing, we might even be playing with robots. So, I mean...
Yeah, or VR.
Or just VR everything. So I don't know, but I know what will stay the same is the structure of professional sportsmanship, because that's been, over decades back now.
Of course.
And I think that is something that will continue on, and I would like to dabble in that. But yes, I think my 10 years, if I'm 32 years old, I would like to have a family. I would like to have settled down in a country where esports is quite rich and natural.
Yeah.
And
Get involved in it.
Getting involved in it in different ways and forms, with education, PR, project management, sponsorship roles, social media, whatever is needed to sort of take esports to another level.
I've got you. Well, talking about that, thank you very much for the podcast. I wish you absolutely all the best.
Thank you so much.
And I really hope you get your dreams, and I hope a lot of guys out there start following you. I know I've had a lot of fun getting to know you, aka stalking you, and then now actually getting to know you and having a chat with you. It's really interesting, and I love what you've done. I respect the nth degree where you want to go, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
I think just to sort of, if I can say something to the viewers,
Please,
obviously,
you can.
I don't think we've addressed the fact that, you know, my passion to teach other people to get into the gaming scene is that I believe that whatever you do, whether it's a law degree, web development, you know, graphic design, anything can relate to esports. And that's something that I want people to understand, that even if you're in construction, building a LAN, if you're in IT, software development, all of those things, everything has a link to esports and growing the community. And if each one of us who has the passion or interest in esports contributes to the scene in that sort of way, we will only expand. And specifically in South Africa, the amount of companies that has now stepped in, like Prime Self, who we've mentioned a few times now, taking their expertise and turning it into the esports industry and saying we can contribute, you know, positively into the scene and help it grow. That is what we need, and that is what I've always said. You don't have to quit your job to become a video gamer.
Yes.
You don't have to quit your day job if you don't feel comfortable with it. If you're not that passionate about it, and you're not, you know, making things happen for you. And I'm saying it's a grind. Like most days I'm just like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be without a job, you know. It's fine. It's something that if you're doing something completely out of the ordinary, and you know that does maybe not appeal to you, and if it does appeal to you but you are not 100% sure to go about it and stuff like that, I'd rather say take the time to really investigate it. Same with your keto diet. It's all good and well wanting to be, you know, fully on a keto diet and being slim and whatever else.
Find out what it entails.
Or the same with being a professional gamer and you know, just gaming the rest of your days off, if you don't know how much actual work goes into it every single day. And I'm talking about tiring, boring work. It's the same. And I think that if everybody sees that you take whatever your skills are, and you take your skills and you combine it with your passion,
I agree. That
is when you find your job or whatever you want to do for the rest of your life. That is the reason we are all on the planet.
To find our purpose. There we go. That's
go.
it. So on that note, thank you very much. I appreciate it. To all the guys listening, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Awesome.
That's us. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of the podcast. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't leave just yet. I've got some important information to tell you for all the gamers out there. When I was busy developing my website with Pisha IT, Bryn, the head dev, and I, through a series of coincidences, decided to put in a little bit of an Easter egg. So there's an Easter egg on my website, and I'd love for the IT guys to go out there and try and find it. If you find it, and if you email me, and if the answer's correct, I'll give you a shout out live on the podcast. And the fame will be yours, the chicks will be yours, the cars will be yours. Basically, you will be like Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's true. Okay, probably not. But nevertheless, it's still fun. Go and have a look. See if you can find the Easter egg, send it to me. It is what we do. We have fun, nevertheless. And before we go, thank you to Jared, my main equipment sponsor, Jared Smith. Thank you to Teletrack, and thank you to Unleash TV. Guys, have a great one. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Peace.